Okay. Don't remember what I was doing. Opening the map takes a while. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a moving cabin. Okay. Okay, so I have to drive over here, get the cabin, three sets of framing. I'm gonna have to dig out of that. Okay, so I have to come here, grab a cabin, turn my ass around, and drive all the way back to this point at which it splits. I go down this difficult path. Eventually, driving across here, then making my way up this to this location. At which point I get to shove the cabins in destination. Line goes up and through the mountain too. I better get started. But I'll do tomorrow's stream tomorrow night, rather than immediately after the stream ends. I don't think there's anything I need to grab here. Yeah, it's not listing what it has other than cabins. So there shouldn't be any excess materials. Wait. Don't I have a vehicle over here? Um, do I still need one cabin's worth of cabin? Two, four. Five. Six. 8. 10. I have not been reading the locations. 2. 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Requires Big Salmon Peak. Requires Big Salmon Peak. ESP. Logs. 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 Okay, so I do need... Pretty sure I do need one more cabin. Yeah. Because there's 8 in the construction zone. And I think the step only has 1 up there. Yeah. Okay, so we need 10 cabins in total. How do they need to be divvied? Two, 4. 2, 2, 2, 4. 2, 5. 1, 1, 2, 5. 1, 5, 2, 5. Yeah, so I need 5 cabins at each location. Oh boy. So this pain in the ass quest is just getting started. Back to the Dan. is why I slapped some fat mud tires on this thing. Because if I just left it to chains, I probably would have gotten stuck there. Stuck in the mud. We're just gonna slow roll the whole way. Oh my God. I just realized I forgot to grab a container before coming here. Oh my God. So I found my my sweet Southern Heat barbecue Cheetos. They had 4 bags, and I grabbed all 4. They weren't as good as I was hoping they'd be, but they are still pretty good. This is not a sponsored stream. It's just it sounded good to me. Barbecue Cheetos. Just a savory, non-cheese corn puff. That's all I really wanted. If it didn't have... okay, it's not as spicy as Flamin' Hot. It's much more mild. But it's still too spicy for me for, like, frequent consumption. If it didn't have that heat to it, those things would probably be like crack to me. I also found another bag of chips with a flavor I've never seen before. So I snagged it. It's some Lay's chips. I'm looking forward to trying them. I'm going to have them tomorrow. They are God, what are they called? I don't remember the exact name, but it's like bacon and grilled cheese or something like that. This is the name of the flavor for this particular bag of chips. And I got literally the only one on the shelf. Oh, and the Cheetos I got were a little bit cheaper than normal. They were having a buy one get one deal, so I got 4. But I've got some snacks. It's kind of surprising how much some of these snacks have in regards to like amount of protein, because they're kind of higher than you would think. Your average like solid sized bag of chips and Cheetos, potato chips, Doritos, Cheetos has like 18 grams of protein for the entire bag. And for me, an entire bag is like a snack or part of a meal. I'm like 6'4", and I eat a lot. So yeah, I normally try to have like 50 grams of protein per meal. Sometimes I'll spread a meal out to like different portions. So sometimes I'll have like more than 3 meals in a way, because some of those 3 will be like split up into smaller portions. You know, spread out the food intake. But yeah, so I eat like I tend to have a glass of milk with each meal as well, so I'm not eating as much like solid mass of food. And it's like 2 cups of milk worth, so it's about, that 1 glass of milk is like 20 grams of protein. So I have a bag of chips and a glass of milk, that's 38 grams of protein right there. So I'm just missing 12. So I could just grab like some lunch meat out of the fridge, or put in a chimichanga and grab a couple packs of gummies, or stuff like that. I get the Foster Farms popcorn chicken. Again, not sponsored in any shape or form. And I found that if I have a third of a bag and a glass of milk, that's a meal. Protein-wise, that's a meal. Got chicken, it's got meat, it's got dairy. The breading on the chicken is, well, bread. Right? That's 3 of the food groups there. And I treat things with 0 grams of protein as like, you know, eat whenever. Much as you want. Go for it. Lettuce, go for it. Most fruits and vegetables, go for it. These last couple of years, I've started not having as much candy. Specifically, candy that's pure sugar. You know, with a few exceptions. And even those I have kind of few and far between. But yeah, anything that's pure sugar and doesn't have any other, like, nutritional value to it, I usually stay away from nowadays. I may have one of those if it's like, if my meal doesn't particularly have, like, carbs. Oh man, today is a long day. Oh, went to the store today. My mom had to stop by the hospital for an appointment, and me and Bella, poor Bella, we were just sitting in the car. And a fucking helicopter flies low directly over the car we're in. Bella's freaking out a little bit. I'm kind of, what the hell is going on? There's a helicopter that is pointed towards my car, has flown over the car, and there is a, like, sheriff parked a little bit down the way. Like, what is going on? And then the helicopter goes and lands, like, nearby on the asphalt right next to the parking lot. And I see the word Battleborn on the side of the helicopter. I'm like, oh shit, is this a SWAT team? Like, what the fuck is going on? No, it was just they were transferring a patient from the hospital. And apparently, on the asphalt, they have it drawn out to use that part of the asphalt as a helipad, right next to like the parking lot where random people can just drive into the space of the helicopter, which actually that's what the officer was there for, which was to make sure nothing goes wrong with the helicopter and they're not harassed, things aren't stolen, nobody tries to make off with the chopper, that type of thing. Somebody did start to drive into the area where the helicopter was, and that officer has some fucking pipes, man. Because I heard just, no! like, I'm sitting in the car, like, about 100 feet away, and he startled me with how loud he was. Like... But yeah, the hospital we're at isn't exactly made to handle certain major emergency situations, certain surgeries, that type of thing. And so whoever was being basically gurneyed onto the helicopter has some serious shit going on. So it's like, is she dying? Like, what's going on here? An old woman with white hair getting loaded onto the chopper and then flown off somewhere else. The whole thing took like 25 minutes from me hearing the chopper getting closer to the chopper flying away. Yeah, it's like freaked me out. It's like, what did I do? Because the helicopter, as they were flying in, they pointed the chopper, like aligned the chopper on the horizontal axis directly towards the car I was sitting in. And on top of that, the sheriff on the opposite location was like looked like was staring directly at me a couple of times, like at the vehicle over there. So it was like, what did I do? And again, this is before I knew it was a medical chopper. So, like, I thought it was a SWAT team. You know, a black helicopter starts getting closer to you and points directly at you, and then there's an officer on the other side walking around and looking in your direction, and it's like, with his vehicle parked and the lights going, like, what was I supposed to think? Like, what would you think in that situation? Isn't there like some better spot they can put the landing pad at? Maybe there's a more clever way of doing it. Maybe they could build an actual helipad right there with a subtle ramp that goes like directly towards the hospital, and then they carve out the parkish area with the trees, and make a drive around location for the vehicles to be able to avoid the helipad. Like, it's in the goddamn public parking lot. But come on. Somebody had to have thought this through. And still come up short. Couldn't they, like, reinforce part of the building and put the helipad on top of the hospital? And just have, like, a quick elevator down right into the center of the emergency location? I mean, they could have made a solid landing pad that connects the two buildings on the roof, and then they gurney the person out, and then there's an exterior lift that just lowers, you know, who's ever on the gurney to ground level, and they're right where they need to be to go to the emergency room. You know, or to get into surgery or whatever. Like, there's so many better ways that spot could be designed for the helicopter. They wouldn't have to call out an officer every time either. Okay, Dan's not great for getting through here, but it's also, like, far from the worst truck. I just kind of wish I had something that was, like, uber powerful. And just didn't give two shits about the mud. Preferably something with fuel. Yeah, we're 40 minutes in and we haven't even gotten the first of our cabin deliveries in for the stream. So I fully plan on getting, like, all 5 over there. But I'm not even going to be able to finish this. I'm not even going to be able to finish Cabin Zone 2 by the time this stream ends. Because that's how tedious this is. Oh my god, I missed it again. That turn is so quick and subtle. I didn't even notice this was a turnoff. And I was like looking at the map, planning out my route. I knew there was like a short right turn here, and I still missed it. I still didn't see it. Should have been watching the blue marker for that one. Oh yeah, even after we get across here, we still have to go up there. So each cabin is going to take about an hour. After we get this cabin up there, there's still 3 more hours. No, longer. There is more than 3 hours worth of cabin driving left for cabin 2. I just realized something. And that is, I'm going to have to drive this truck all the way back down to the cabin manufacturing first. So that's like another 40 minutes. Basically, we might be able to get the Dan to We might be able to get the Dan to the cabin manufacturing location for the third time. I just have a feeling that's what's going to be the case here. Yeah, because it's going to... an hour and a half to drive there and back. Another hour and a half to drive there and back. And then that's just going to leave a half an hour of driving. So I'll probably be partially on the way to deliver the cabin. Technically the fourth cabin to cabin zone 2. Good grief. Good thing this is such a wide truck. I don't like that approach. Let's go straight up. I definitely need to get a truck with a longer crane here. Good. Get in there. Okay. Cabin times 2. 2 out of 2. Okay. They are there. Confirmed. So as soon as all the other stuff gets delivered, that one will just count. But what I'm going to do is I have to bring 3 more cabins down here to cabin zone 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and just like I don't know, like drop them nearby, I guess. Yeah, that took an hour. Oh. That way I don't forget. Oh, just drinking some water. Absolutely needed. Like, what time is it? Oh god, okay. No wonder I'm feeling a bit off. I haven't had dinner. Last thing that I had was Cheetos. I'm gonna go reheat a cooked thing of fish. Yep. Got my fish. It's like I just realized I've had like one and a partial meal today. Like 1.5 meals. And it's already tomorrow. Yeah, it's past midnight. Like, no wonder I feel kind of out of it. Like, not only am I tired, but I haven't eaten as much as I should have. That was good. Cod fillets. Oh no, it's pollock, not cod. Cod would be good. Would be much better. So we've got some bad news in gaming. A couple things, in fact. I'm going to start with the lesser one. And that is with Fortnite, which apparently Epic Games has let go of 1,000 employees. Not only have they let go of 1,000 employees, but in Fortnite, they're getting rid of Festival Battle Stage, Ballistic, and Rocket Racing. And it's incredibly dumb. Because there's like so many, there's like a multitude of reasons. Like they're doing this because they say it doesn't have the player base and, you know, they're not making money on it, basically. And it's really stupid because if you actually analyze what's been going on and what Epic Games has been doing these past number of years, Epic Games has basically just been repeatedly shooting themselves in the foot. This is a problem that Epic Games caused. They've done it, the player base and the lack of money, they've done it by giving millions of, like tens of millions of dollars to various streamers. They've done it by how they've handled cosmetics and how they've handled cosmetics with these 3 modes specifically. Both in lack of cosmetics and tying the cosmetics to the absolute best of the best of the best of the best of the best players. And for those of you that don't know, the cosmetics I'm talking about are that last one is specifically Rocket Racing ranked, as you cannot progress towards the cosmetics unless you play ranked. And you have to be like one of the top 50 players in the world or something like that in order to reach Onyx rank. So you're sitting there beating your head against this massive level of difficulty because you're competing against the best players in the world. Like, I can't even get past Elite, right? I just gave up after Elite once I didn't get all of the cosmetics for Rocket Racing. I just stopped caring altogether because it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault that I didn't get all the cosmetics. Because my skill, my ability, I am not the best of the best of the best. So I don't get those cosmetics. And it basically just sets my mentality to why even try? If I'm just going to get stonewalled and not be able to get these cosmetics, why do I even care about them? Why do I even care to put my time and effort into them to unlock them? Only to not unlock them and for them to go away and I can never get them. Like, and it's not just Rocket Racing. It's also Fortnite Reload. It's also their standard Battle Royale. They also have this type of thing in Lego Fortnite, which requires you to play like, or to be like storm-imbued bosses, which is absolutely insane because the normal bosses are really difficult. Why care about your cosmetics? Why play those modes if I'm just going to be beating my head against a wall the entire time and never get them anyway? On top of that, there's a bunch of other shit I want to play. Like, here we go. Here's SnowRunner. I have thousands of games in my library. I want to play more than just fucking Fortnite and Warzone. And you forcing me to grind at an impossible skill level doesn't exactly make me or other players want to play your fucking modes or your game at all. You see what I mean? Epic Games has made it hard to want to play those modes for people like me. And I've had a number of people come out and say that I'm good, apparently. I'm not good. So if I am struggling and not progressing and just unable to get these things, how much of a chance do those people have to get the cosmetics? Not a goddamn chance in hell. So Epic Games has just been shooting themselves in the foot. And Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games, made a response into the backlash of having to fire these 1,000 people. And he's basically trying to word it as, don't think of it as 1,000 people are out of a job. Think of it like all these companies have, the chance to hire these 1,000, educated and competent, like, programmers and other people. You're a fucking asshole, dude. You and your company made these problems with Epic Games and Fortnite to begin with. And then you turn around and are, like, attacking the players for not playing the modes that you didn't put effort on. You couldn't even have, like, one programmer go and, like, hey, make a couple cool skins. and effects. Make something new that's never been seen before. It makes some dumb little gremlin that follows you around. Make a new pattern for your vehicle. A new paint job pattern. Like, even something like that, and not lock it behind a skill, that's all they needed to do. And that would have brought some players back. See, they started Rocket Racing with the best of the best of the best, get to Unreal rank, blah, 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 blah. And, then they actually got a little bit wise, somehow, and changed that method of cosmetic unlock in Rocket Racing to race, and sometimes race in specific ways. Just get in the mode and play. And, do a couple things like, fly for an amount of distance in your vehicle, go over a bunch of turbo bonus zones, use the secondary boost a number of times, grind at racing, race in some specific ways for certain quests, and you'll get your cosmetics. Just play the mode. Enjoy. Get your cosmetics. Enjoy. That was cool. That was smart. But then, when Pacific Break came back, the previous season, they switched back to get to Unreal rank again to unlock everything. But not just that, get to Unreal rank in Rocket Racing, get to Unreal rank in Fortnite Reload, get to Rocket rank, get to Unreal rank in Battle Royale. And it's just sad to see them go down this path of self-destruction. And then and on top of that, not understanding and realizing what they're even doing that's wrong. They are a massive game developer who literally doesn't understand the gaming ecosphere. They don't understand what gamers want. They don't understand what retains gamers. They just found a formula that works and stuck with it, and they keep making tweaks, and they make wrong tweak after wrong tweak, and now they're canceling modes that are not popular because they didn't figure out how to tweak them in the right way. Epic Games doesn't know what they're doing. And Epic Games, that whole thing, that's the lesser one of the two. The other one is Microsoft, who really doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Who really doesn't, they're suffering from the same problems. They're shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over and over and over and over again. They don't understand the gaming ecosphere. They have no idea what they're doing. They're making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. So on top of all the previous bad decisions that they've made in the past, half a year, that caused their consoles to be pulled from shelves, to where they were also raising the prices of Game Pass, reducing the amount of Microsoft Microsoft credits, Microsoft points, whatever credit that you get. Now they're discussing a partnership with Netflix to put ads in games. Your entire game will spontaneously be paused for 5 minutes every hour of gameplay. How does that fucking sound? They don't understand things. They have ruined, they have self-destructed so badly that they have ruined the Xbox name. They have ruined the Microsoft name. And it's not just Xbox, it's also Windows computers that they've screwed up with so badly and are still screwing up and pushing other worse things because of their mentality of trying to make a certain amount of profit margin per effort and money that they put in, and that is absolutely destroying their company from the inside out. I really need to go through and do a piece mapping out, like, the downfall of Microsoft. I need to map out, like, every massive wrong decision that they've made, things that they have pushed. Because these companies that have no idea what they're doing and are pushing their idiocy and greed onto the consumers, onto the players, onto the users. These companies need to be bullied. They actually need to be bullied. They need to be shown and taught that what they are doing is wrong. It's like, okay, here's a creed that I live by, okay? Just because you are well within your right to do something does not absolve you of being an asshole for doing it. You know who said that? Me. I said that. That is my personal quote. Now, I forgot when I made it, but that would have solved a hell of a lot of arguments when I was growing up. Being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole, being greedy just because you don't want to do the right thing. If you're doing everything you possibly can to get more money, to get more information, to get more money, to get more control, doing everything you possibly can to do those, except and doing everything you possibly can do except for the right thing, the right reason, that's literal evil. That is literal evil. And that is a good example of Microsoft right now. That is a good example of Microsoft since the upcoming release of the Xbox One. Well, if you don't want always online requirements, we have a product for that, and that's called Xbox 360. You remember that? You remember that? That eventually got that guy shit canned? That's Microsoft, in a nutshell. He said their quiet part out loud. that moment. But he did so not knowing what can of worms he was opening, what reveals he was creating. I'm gonna eat my fish now. Anything bad that happens to Xbox and Windows and their users and players is solely Microsoft's fault at this point. And it's like they're deliberately self-destructing the entire company through sheer greed and not understanding, or I should say non-understanding, that their level of greed is actually hurting them. I don't think they realize, because this has happened so many times, so frequently within this past few months, that I don't think, I think they literally do not understand, literal, not understanding, that the sheer amount of greed that they are exhibiting to meet this quota is actually hurting them. They don't understand that their viewpoint, that their ideal of trying to get this exponential, infinite return on their investments, that they don't understand that that part of their mentality is what is destroying them, because it's causing them to push into new innovations that are actually damaging them. Forcing Copilot, forcing things into the cloud so they can scan your shit. I'm pretty sure they're up there with Amazon wanting to have people not own computers anymore and have to rent the computers and game systems instead. Sony's already doing it. I cannot think of a single major gaming or computer company that isn't scummy as all fuck. Every single one of them has shit in their dirt book. And I think it's about time I start sticking all those notes up on the wall. Turns out that one of the biggest funders and pushers of the age verification in games and computers and all that, trying to make a change that would make Linux illegal, okay? That's being pushed by Meta. There was a spark from that by Collective Shout. That's those two groups, Meta and Collective Shout. Collective Shout was the group that caused the whole gaming nuke to go off on Steam and the censorship, which caused all the different PayPal payment processors like PayPal and Visa and MasterCard to not be able to not support Steam. And then there's a whole bunch of other political things and things going on around the world. The war in Iran, the kidnapping of the Brazilian president, ICE, where they basically murdered U.S. citizens in cold blood for basically being human. They're just trying to do what they do, and ICE fucking killed them. The whole freaking White House right now, and Congress, and the Senate is just so fucked up, it's unreal. And I think it's time I start mapping all this shit out. I start mapping this shit out. I start listing connections. And I think I can do that in HTML and post it online. It's just, there's so much of this malicious crap happening every single day. That it's impossible for one person to keep track of it all. It's literally not possible. If I had 9 clones, 10 of me, working every single day nonstop, this work mapping out the politics by itself, not even the tech stuff, politics, geopolitics as well, I wouldn't be able to keep pace. We wouldn't be able to keep pace. And there's the whole Epstein Files thing. That's been fun. Learning that it's almost guaranteed that human meat was involved in human consumption. The only thing I can do is I can pick points here and there and tie them together. Just take one thing, put it in. Take one thing, put it into the system. Take one thing, put it in the system. Video after news article, after speech. That's all I can do. After interview. And what I need to do first is I need to make clear-cut terms. I need to map out actual definitions for certain things such as fascism, Nazi, like what is it required to actually be a Nazi? So that when I reference those things, I can actually point to all of these definitions. You know, when somebody uses skewed words or something, I can use the definitions to point those out. I need to figure out what the actual ones are so I can make a comprehensive, definitive definition for them. So now I need a fucking crane. Fantastic. Am I stuck? Okay, I'm not going to be able to do everything on every video immediately after reviewing it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a cross-referenceable database that lists people, places, events, companies, policies that are mentioned in the videos, and just put a copy of the link on every single one of those, and do that for every video. I'm also going to have to organize timelines of when things happened and who caused them. It's difficult, but doable. I can certainly do that. I've got OCD. I have the capacity to handle that type of stuff. Sorry to rant and rave, but all this shit going on is pissing me off. And I'm not going to limit it to just recent stuff either. No, no, no. All of history shall be my playground. I don't think people are going to be happy once they see what I'm going to do. Once they see what I am doing. When some people see their company's names and they're out, like the CEOs, see their names on some of the lists I'm going to be making. When they see their names alongside other names, they are very much not going to be happy. And then you'll be able to click on any one of those names. Any person, member of the public, will be able to click on those names and see all those different mountains of public dirty laundry. I'm going to reach out to some people, some big names, and see if they have any interest in supporting what I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to need to spend a little time and get it started first. I'm sick of the shit. Something needs to change, and for the better, and real fucking goddamn soon. And I don't think that is going to happen without something like this existing. Because even though the Epstein files have been released, what arrests have been made? There's tech companies making tech worse for consumers to enjoy. What sort of thing can anybody do to stop ads? Right? Like the thinking of implementing ads in the middle of your fucking gaming sessions. They are now renting consoles and renting computers to, quote, be a solution, or unquote, to be a solution, their solution, for a problem all these tech and AI companies caused to begin with. And Donald Trump had a hand in that. In his first term, I think it was his first term, he had it to where a specific regulation, or I should say anti-regulation, he had it, it may have been an executive order. God, this was a long time ago. It was to make sure that AI didn't have any regulation for like 10 years or something like that. So the fact that AI has gotten this bad, the fact that there are so many data centers, the fact that all the graphics cards and RAM, hard drives and everything, the prices have shot up like a fucking rocket because all these AI companies are snatching them up and making deals with the manufacturers to snap them up before they're even made for like over a year's worth of product. And by that time that goes by, they're going to need more, and they're probably going to make more deals to snatch them up, keeping them out of consumer hands. Donald Trump had a hand in that. It's still his hand in that. I think that's one of the big things I actually want to go look up is exactly what the order or instruction was for no regulation on AI for a long fucking time. Now, Elon Musk's one of his data centers, he had it built in a small town, and they basically cut the water. They're basically using enough of the water that one of the nearby farms can't get its water. I think it's a cow farm, if I remember right. If I remember right, he's had cattle die because they cannot get enough water because of the nearby AI data center has basically made a deal with the city that they get priority or something like that. I remember like a good amount of bits and pieces to these different events and stories, but I don't remember the whole thing. So I'm going to need to go back and aggregate all of this different info and tie it all together as to why this is such a shitty situation. Making lists and mapping out systems, coincidences, affiliations, interconnected causes and effects, complex systems, like even in games, mapping out like RPG stuff. Like, even that transcribes to what I'm doing here. I've watched the killing of Alex Preddy multiple times. And that should have been ruled as a murder. I've watched it probably over a dozen times. Maybe 2, 3 dozen. Watching other people analyze the footage. Watching people who were in the military analyze the footage. Shit's fucked up. When you all back away from a guy on the ground who's not moving, likely got the wind knocked out of him or unconscious even, and then you just take out your pistol and shoot that person, unarmed, prone, at that moment, basically helpless. How is that not a murder? They had already taken his gun from him. The gun has disappeared. From evidence, the chain of evidence was broken. As far as I know, the gun is still missing to this day. The reason all the people stepped back was because the person that disarmed Alex Preddy accidentally fired, well, I don't know about accidentally, but fired Freddy's gun. Which caused the rest of the group to step back. And the dude that shot him, after everybody stepped back, got off him and stepped back, the dude that shot him, member of ICE, I'll have to double check again, but I remember it being said that he was in Afghanistan, in military, like during, the Bush years. So this was not a person who was untrained. This was not a person who was not used to combat. This was not a person to panic in those situations. He was a battle-tested soldier at one point. And he took out his pistol and basically mag-dumped Alex Preddy while he was prone, possibly unconscious. How is that not a murder? How is that not an illegal killing? I don't know if all my facts are correct because I don't remember. Like, it's been a while since I looked all that stuff up. But if I am remembering things right, I don't think votes are going to change this. I think we're going to have to do more than vote. They've also basically made it so that our IDs are no longer a valid document for when we go to vote. Now that I remember that, basically the only way you can get into vote if you don't have if you're not in one of the states where they put your citizenship on your ID, your driver's license, and specifically these states, they only put them on driver's license. They do not put them on citizens' IDs. So you either need a valid driver's license with the mark of citizenship, you need a passport, which costs over $100, and it's been ordered by the Trump administration that libraries stop processing passports. There's a fun little piece of information there. Or you need to bring your actual birth certificate, and that birth certificate, you need your last name to still be the name on the certificate. Which means any woman who has ever been married is fucked on that. That is something that's going through Congress. If it hasn't already been discussed yet. The very fact that this was even brought to the government legislature shows how desperate they are to control everything, to oppress everyone. Beyond fucked up. Beyond fucked up. I just need to bite the bullet and start mapping this shit out. I need to throw everything political into a randomizer and let it pick video after video for me. Video, news article, whatever. I need to make some calls. To some prominent figures. Not necessarily prominent politicians, but prominent people who deal with politics, who talk about it. There's a couple that are lawyers that getting in touch with would probably be to my benefit in the creation of this. Now remember this, okay? The legal thing to do is not always the moral thing to do. And vice versa. The moral thing to do is not always the legal thing to do. That's just truth. That's been truth as long as there's been laws. So much to do. So much to do. This almost got stuck there. Ooh. I just thought of some other groups I could get in contact with that could help me map some things out. It's that time, huh? Yeah, it's that time. That fish was pretty good. Tomorrow is Thursday. So I'll be doing a Warzone stream late afternoon. I don't know what's going to happen when this quest ends. Like, I don't know if there's going to be stuff that changes inside. I'm thinking... maybe I should park outside with the heavy load. This time, we'll refuel the step. Need wood planks. There's legitimately no wood planks here. Wow, okay. So this trip's going to be a little different. First step is I'm going to make it down to the cabin construction site. And then I'm going to go north. I'm going to grab this wood framing up here. Turn around. Bring it to the construction site. And that will get me the last cabin supply I need. I mean, I guess I should probably get the other two brick framings and just park over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I just skip most of the muck? I can just skip quite a bit of the muck. Confirmed. So that's 3 cabins at cabin zone 2. And still need 2 more to get there, and then I have 5 to deliver to the other place, which really isn't going to be that much easier. Yo! Take of all this dumbass bullshit. Gas station is there. I have more than enough fuel. Almost took some serious damage. Not that far. Making big money. Not for a bit. Eventually, though, there's all these huge orders to fill. Let's see, what have I done this stream? I have delivered 2 cabins, and now I'm collecting and delivering some planks to turn into another cabin. And to start delivering that as well. Have I ever drove a truck in real life? Not a semi. Though I have been inside a couple. Oh, there's controls on the back? What is that? I can't read what it says. Oh, I'm going off the road here. Any fun plans for Easter? No. Holidays generally just really aren't much of a thing for me anymore. No places to go to, no real events to get involved with, no money to do anything with. So it's just kind of any other day for most holidays. You don't have to be sorry, it's just the way things are. Turning this friggin' land yacht around. Alright, back up here. Boom. Boom. And boom. There we go. Time to deliver this next one. This is really like an annoyingly large order because I have to deliver a total of 10 of these friggin' cabins. I had to come over here, make all 10 here, and then I have to deliver 5 here, and then 5 here. And the mud around here is so mucky that I don't even want to deal with trailers. So it's just kind of one at a time. Good thing the door seals on this truck work. Don't need the cab to get flooded too. Man, how would you like this to be your job? Wow, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know it kicks the camera out when the cab gets submerged. There's a roof hatch? I didn't know this thing. Oh. That's what that is. Wonder what the reasoning for putting a roof hatch on was. I mean, it can't be to crawl out, because look at the size of the seat compared to the hatch. There's a good number of truckers that are big guys. They ain't gonna fit through that. Wow, I may actually get this delivered this stream. So, my entire stream, this stream, would amount to getting 3 cabins delivered. Oh, man. Oh. Boy, SnowRunner can be slow sometimes. What's my favorite snack? My favorite snack. Well, it's not candy, it's snacks, so I'm going to assume it's just something that's not just pure sugar. Well, lately, my favorite snack has been standard, crunchy Cheetos. I don't know why. I've gotten to like Cheetos a lot more now. There was a time when I didn't particularly like them all that much, but for some reason I really like them now. They recently released a limited time Cheeto variety, and I tried them for the first time today. They're not the best, but they are pretty decent. These, they're crunchy Cheetos. Their flavor is sweet Southern heat barbecue, or something like that. And I think they would be better without the heat, but they're decent. I just wanted a savory Cheeto that wasn't, cheese. Get some variety in there. You like barbecue chips? Do you like a Lay's or baked Lay's or Ruffles or kettle chips or what? What do you go for more often? The wavy Lay's? Okay. Oh, I know what my favorite treat is. My favorite snack. Chocolate chip cookies. Soft chocolate chip cookies. Like freshly baked and they haven't gotten hard yet. That is my favorite snack of all time, I think. Oh, I do have a small little bit of Easter history of mine. when I was living at my grandma's house, my mom, we used to get these knockoff cereals. We got these, they were basically knockoffs of Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles, but they were called Nuggets. So instead of, you know, Fred Flintstone and other cavemen, they were like miners, like with drills and stuff. As in like an ore nugget. Only it's the cereal. I don't know. It was dumb. But for Easter, my mom took a bunch of Fruity Nuggets and marshmallow and did like a Rice Krispie treat thing with the Fruity Nuggets and shaped it into the, you know, a rabbit. So she made a nugget bunny. It was like clown puke colored nugget bunny. Because it had all the colors of the Fruity Nuggets. Or like the Fruity Pebbles did. It still had a lot of sugar, but thankfully it wasn't as sugary as like the actual Fruity Pebbles. It was good. Yeah, some nasty muck in this path. This is top speed, by the way, right now. Like, that's over a foot deep in mud. You have played this game before, it's not that easy. Yeah. Oh, this spot again. Uh-oh. Oh, this is bad. Come on, you can do it. Get through it. Play this game as a game on Game Pass. Not sure if it still is. It is. But I went through and I bought the... I had some birthday money, so I got myself the 4-year anniversary edition. So I have, so not only do I have the base game, but I got seasons 1 through 16 This one is season... Season 2. Yeah, this. I'm still on season 2. I'm going through them all in order. There was an update for this game a while ago. Can't believe the updates are so big. Yeah, that's primarily a Microsoft problem. The updates on Steam are usually only a couple of gigabytes. Most games on Xbox, for whatever reason, they will just have you download the entire game over again. They'll just replace the old version with the new version. Complete wipe, complete reinstall. Minecraft and Fortnite generally don't tend to have that problem. Sometimes Warzone as well. But SnowRunner does. Definitely does. It doesn't have that problem on Steam, from what I've heard. Yeah, so every time they have an update, you're basically downloading all of SnowRunner again. And every single time there's a new season, all of those other seasons are included in the update. Not that you can use them, but all of the data is there. Where am I going? I can't see. You didn't know what you were thinking? This game is going to be 1 terabyte soon? I don't know about 1 terabyte. It's still under 50 gigs last time I checked. Still nothing compared to how Call of Duty Warzone used to handle itself. What was it, like something like over 300 gigs for a while? Something ridiculous like that until they found a new way to compress the files where it didn't really impede performance much. I'm going to get out of the muck first, but I want to look at something. I want to know where all the different seasons take place. Season 1 takes place on the Kola Peninsula of, I think, Alaska. I think that's where that is. Season 2, this is the Yukon in Canada. Okay. Start in Michigan, Alaska, and Tamir. Kola Peninsula, Yukon. Oh. Okay, okay. Season 3 is in Wisconsin. Okay, now here's what I did. The reason it says that it's locked and that I can't go to it is because I have manually kept the seasons that I have not on yet uninstalled. Basically the 10 megabyte check file. And so that way I don't get any trucks from later seasons in earlier seasons, because I kind of want to experience the different seasons the way they were when they were released, as close as possible. So no Uber trucks from later seasons basically demolishing everything. One of the things I learned is when you unlock the Yukon, they just shove a truck in your garage. It's just automatically unlocked. So I'm pretty sure that, or so there's a good chance that later seasons would do the same thing, and I just have extra trucks that I don't know where they came from. I don't want to do that. I want to unlock stuff in order on this playthrough. Oh god, that's season 4? Emmer is season 4? One of the southernmost regions of Russia. Oh, I didn't know it was another snowy one. And it's big too, it's 4 maps. Kola Peninsula was just 2. Oh god. Yukon is just 2. Wisconsin's just 2. This is 4. Oh man. Okay. One of the things I've seen. Okay, now I'm a little bit worried that this is coming up so quick in season 4. Emmer is highly regarded in the SnowRunning community as the hardest region in the entirety of SnowRunner. The Yukon, the one I'm on, is supposed to be one of the easier ones, from what I've seen. Oh, man. I didn't know Emmer was so early on. Don, Russia. Southwest. Wait, Dawn? And they got a picture of a Dawn in the factory grounds map. Maine? Okay. They're still adding new maps? Yeah, there's a whole other, oh god, what's it called? There's a whole, there's a 5th season pass. So there's going to be, by the time they're done with this, there's at least going to be 20 different regions. Used to live in Wisconsin. The weather is bad there. Oh. Is it too hot or too cold? Because I can deal with cold. Tennessee, a single map region. That's interesting. Glades, Central Asia. Oh, is this when they added farming? That's kind of what it looks like. Restoring the area's prior farmland glory. Cold, but they get a lot of snow. You live there, you got 30 below. 30 below. Huh. Ontario, North America. That's Canada, right? East of Canada, yeah. British Columbia. Canada's westmost region. Wait, so we're just... So we get done with Canada and then we go to Canada? Yeah, just like Alaska weather. I mean, if you had a choice, would you choose Alaska winter or desert summer? Wisconsin Wisconsin winter or desert summer? Because I have to deal with desert summers and I don't want to. Scandinavia, Northern Europe. Okay. North Carolina. And a whole big 4 maps on this one. Almaty region, Central Asia. Oh boy. Oh, that I can see that one being a pain in the ass. The whole map is just quarries. Wisconsin winter, but here it gets cold at night in desert. It does, but I can deal with the desert cold easily. Desert summers, I could not stand. Like, I can be in a room with air conditioning and a fan going, and I'm still just sweating buckets. Austria. Okay. Quebec. Canada again. Washington State. Here's the one I don't have. The first one I don't have. Zerdania, Western Asia. Where you live, guess it's the same in summer. It gets cold. Cold 100? It gets hot. Oh. Yeah, it sometimes gets around 110 over here at its peak. Usually stays that way for 2 or 3 weeks. When I was living in California, same thing happened there. About 110 for 2 or 3 weeks. But the living situation was generally more pleasant. The better insulated place, even though the building itself had no insulation. It was just better materials for that. Remember one time we got to 120? I'm not sure I've been in that level of heat before. Let's just be glad we don't live in India, because there was a place there that got to like 138 or something like that. Okay, so Michigan, Alaska, and Tamir have 4 maps each in the base game. That's 12 maps. So how much does all the DLC add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that already matches the base game by Season 5. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 12 base game maps and 39 DLC maps with 3 more regions of maps on the way. That's a lot of freaking content. Is Death Valley still a hot place in the USA? Oh yeah, it's one of the hottest places in the USA. I think Death Valley is like very Southern California. I don't know its exact location, but that's where I think it is from what I heard and remember. Yeah, actually, let me look it up. Alright. It's been a long time since I looked up anything on Death Valley. Come on, give me my keyboard. Death Valley weather. Okay, so today it's expected to be around 99 degrees in Death Valley. So that's fun. It's March. So yeah, I considering around here is supposed to be in like the 70s today. That 70s, very low 80s. Yeah, that's freaking hot. Death Valley. What was the hottest temperature ever recorded? The current official highest registered air temperature on Earth is 134 degrees Fahrenheit, recorded on the 10th of July, 1913, at Furnace Creek Ranch in Death Valley. The hottest temperature that Death Valley... Okay, so yes, it is in California. Furnace Creek. The hottest temperature Death Valley reached last year was 122 degrees Fahrenheit. In June. Well, not surprised. June's like one of the hottest months. Alright. I'm going to end the stream in a few minutes, but I'm going to get this cabin up there where I need it to be. I'm going to do that first. Now, what's really cool about SnowRunner is the devs, Saber, with most of the new seasons and big updates, they've actually been adding stuff to the base game for free. Like, they've been buffing trucks, giving them new add-ons. Just all sorts of stuff. Didn't realize that was already lowered. Okay, whatever. Oh. Perfect. Works for me! um... I don't think the stabilizers deployed right in this particular position. Yes. Bug-free storage. I mean, just collecting and putting a few bricks on the roof. The roofs of things, like, that's not gonna hurt the building, is it? Over here, park here. There we go. Okay, this one right here. This one used to not have all-wheel drive. They have now added all-wheel drive to the base game. And this is a good little truck, too. Caterpillar 745C. They have added... Okay, this isn't a new one, but they have added numerous frame add-ons to it in one of the past 5 updates. This truck, this is the one that just shows up spontaneously in your inventory, in your garage, when you load up the game with this second season installed. It's a good truck. It's fast, it's got some power, it can make its way through muck. It has a unique crane, and it can combine with the flatbed, with the utility rack on top for extra fuel and repair supplies. Its only real downside is that it's got 150 liters in the fuel tank. So just bring a tanker truck with it, and it's good to go. It's good to get stuff done. Fleet Star, I think they added a couple things too. I think this one needs some additions. This one needs the ability to take the fork and arm just off. In my opinion, this is probably one of the worst trucks I've ever used in this game. And it's primarily for the loader arm. Oh yeah. They've given some upgrades to the Con Marshal, if I remember right. They've added the P16. They have added a unique long log carrier specifically proprietarily for the Pacific P16, and it looks cool. The problem is that when they implemented this, I had the standard long log back end applied. So when they added the new one, they took the other one away but it was still selected, it was still equipped with the old one when I went into my game. So I disengaged the old one, I removed it from the frame, and it didn't give me the money back for it. Actually, no, oh, never mind. It wouldn't. Oh no, I am in the wrong there. What it was I had to purchase the new one. That's what it was. The old one still existed. It's just I couldn't use the old one on the P16 anymore after I disengaged it. So, I mean, that kind of sucks, but, you know, there wasn't really anything I could do. This one got an upgrade. This got all-wheel drive. This one didn't have all-wheel drive before. I'm not sure, this one might have gotten its tuned custom suspension in one of the most recent updates. I'm not entirely sure, but there was a lot of stuff that was added. I just don't remember what all of it was. Oh! One of the things they added was the Hydrolift saddle. It's meant to equip with a Hydrolift trailer. And the Hydrolift thing is a specific log carrying trailer. Now, in MudRunner, one of the mechanics was a foldable log trailer. It lifted the trailer off from behind the truck onto the bed area with the other part of the log carrier. And they tried to implement that mechanic in SnowRunner as well, but it really didn't work well, and they ended up having to remove it. Well, they finally got around to fixing it in, I think, season 15 or 16, and they added it back in the form of the Hydrolift saddle on the in SnowRunner. So yeah, when equipped with the trailer, which actually it's free, so you can see this in action. And oh yeah, and they added new trailers. I don't remember seeing this one before. Is this one a new trailer from the brand new update? I don't remember this trailer at all. Okay, old one, probably old one. Old. This one might be brand freaking new. 5,000 liters of fuel. Okay, that one's old. That's new. I don't even remember seeing that one with the previous update. That one might be brand freaking new too. Completely freaking new. Okay, that one's been around. Generator. This one, I think, was introduced with the previous group of parts. Flatbed. That one too. Water carrier. Super heavy semi-trailer. Good grief. That's 8 slots. I hate this trailer. Maintenance. Service trailer. Okay. So here we have the Hydrolift trailer. Boom, just like that. Yeah, so it's definitely a different design than what they had in MudRunner, but it essentially does the same thing. And I think that this might be for long logs, actually. Alright, I'm gonna go. I got stuff to do. Ciao for now. Oh! Ow.